Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scout Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame show. I'm sorry I didn't get to do a pregame show, but it took me quite a while to write things on the script, and it was in the fourth quarter by the time I checked it. But you will get a pregame show next week. But we'll go over last night's game. I'll recap it for you, so it'll be a recap post-game show. We'll go over all that. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 6 trivia question. And it is a Broncos trivia question. Who was the first Denver Bronco to rush for more than 20 touchdowns in a single season? I have the answer later in the podcast. Well, Patrick Mahomes knows the Kansas City Chiefs offense is still trying to put everything together, and it was evident in the way they struggled against Denver on third down Thursday night, the way they kept getting bottled up in the yardage situations, and how they failed uh, time after time to turn red zone trips into touchdowns. Luckily for us, Mahomes said, our defense is playing great. uh, so great that Mahomes' lone touchdown pass and Harrison Butker's 4 field goals were enough to squeak out a 19-8 victory over the Broncos, whose woeful offense could only manage 197 yards behind a shaky performance from Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson. Um, we have guys that are starters on the other teams that are trying to find a way on the football field, and when they got on the field, they're making plays. Mahomes said of the Kansas City defense, and they're playing with confidence. Um, Mahomes finished with 306 yards passing and an interception, and a big chunk of this production went to Travis Kelce, who had 9 catches for 124 yards, with Taylor Swift again cheering him on from an Arrowhead Stadium suite. Still, the inability of the Chiefs, 5-1, to score touchdowns rather than field goals nearly proved costly. Butker's first 3 field goals helped them to a 16-0 lead, but Wilson's touchdown pass to Cortland Sutton ruled incomplete, but overturned upon review with about 6 minutes remaining, kept the Broncos 1-5 alive. And when Javonte Williams pulled out into the end zone for a 2-point conversion, what had been a one-sided shutout was a one-possession game. So the Broncos league worst defense couldn't make a stop through, Mahomes converted 3rd and 2 with a 28-yard pass to Rashee Rice, and that put Butker in position for a 52-yard field goal with 100 a minute 55 left. That put the game away. Our defense was incredible tonight, as it has been, Chiefs coach Andy Reid said, but we have to take care of business in the red zone. We have a lot of yards, positive yards, but you can't stall down there. The Broncos have not beaten the Chiefs since September 17th, 2015, the year Peyton Manning led Denver to the Super Bowl. That was 6 head and interim coaches ago, and nothing changed with Sean Payton leading them Thursday night in a league built for uh, uh, parity, party, uh, uh, variety, and their losing streak is the 4th longest for any team against another in NFL history. I am disappointed, but I'm not discouraged, Peyton said. Offensively, we struggled. Throwing the ball on third down, our third down numbers were poor. The turnovers against a team like this, it's going to be tough to win the game. And yet we were still in it going into the fourth quarter. Sometimes you don't know how a game is going to unfold. Uh, as bad as the Broncos' defense has been this season, it was Wilson and their offense that kept dragging them down. He had 37 yards passing in the first half, and the only drive Wilson led past midfield ended on fourth down. The Chiefs weren't doing a whole lot better. The first three uh, red zone netted 3 points. The forays into the red zone netted 3 points thanks to an interception by Justin Simmons and failed touch pushed out of a field goal lineup on fourth down. Mahomes, who struggled by his standards all season, only found his rhythm once in the first half when he ended a 62-yard drive with a short touchdown pass to Kadarius Toney. Butker made it 13-0 at the break when he drilled a 60-yard field goal as time expired. The Chiefs and red zone woes continued in the second half. They began swiftly by marching downfield and setting up a first and goal at the Denver 8, but that soon turned into a fourth and goal at the 7-yard line, and Butker had to kick another field goal. That was all Kansas City could muster until clinching kick until his clinching kick in the final minutes. Thanks to the defense, that was all the Chiefs needed. I thought we did a lot of good things. Just obviously, red zone and some third downs we didn't execute as a high enough level. Mahomes said, I still think we're a lot of good things we can take from it. Swift watched Kelsey and the Chiefs for the third time Thursday night. The two began a relationship a few weeks ago when he invited Swift to a Chiefs game after failing to meet her during her Eras tour. Swift flew in from Los Angeles, where she had walked the red carpet on Wednesday night for the premiere of her concert film. Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones had a sack in his 8th straight regular season game, which trails only his own 11-game streak in 2018 for the longest in franchise history. With at least one in his first 5 seasons, Jones broke the club record that to start the season, held by Hall of Famer Derek Thomas. Now, here are the injuries. First, for the Broncos injuries, Broncos tight end Greg Delucci, who had just come off injured reserve, left in the fourth quarter with a hamstring injury. It's the same injury that landed Delucci on injured reserve after hurting it in week 1 against the Raiders. Chief safety Justin Reid, who had an interception earlier in the game, briefly left in the second half. Wide receiver Justin Watson left in the fourth with an elbow injury sustained while trying to make a diving catch. And the Broncos host Green Bay on October 22nd, and the Chiefs host the Los Angeles Chargers the same day, and that will be next Sunday. So this was just one of those games that was not a high-scoring game, and neither team, I mean, they did good things, the Chiefs, but it could have been a lot more, and I just feel that. I'll give you the game balls in just a second. I'll hand them out, but first, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 6 trivia question, and it is a Broncos one, as I mentioned. Who is the first ever Bronco to rush for more than 20 touchdowns in a single season? If you said Terrell Davis, you are correct. In 1998, Terrell Davis became the first Denver Bronco to rush for more than 20 touchdowns in a season, finishing with 2,008 rushing yards and 21 rushing touchdowns. He also had 25 receptions that season for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns. We have another trivia question on my next podcast, which will be on Sunday for my Scout Sports 101 Week 6 Browns and early games pregame show, so stay tuned for that. Now to hand out the game balls, Patrick Mahomes, 30 of 40, carries and attempts, 206 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Travis Kelce, 9 receptions, 124 yards, and I think it's Isaiah Pacheco, 16 attempts and 62 yards. Well, this was one of those games where it was not high scoring and neither team did any damage, but they did do some good things. So, well, it was so, but the Chiefs come away with the win and they go to 5-1, and the Broncos fall to 1-5. We got some great matchups for you Sunday. The Browns will play the 49ers here at home, and I'm hoping the Browns can come away with the victory. PJ Walker will be the starting quarterback. The Baltimore Ravens are there in Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. Carolina Panthers are in Miami to take on the Dolphins, and the Detroit Lions take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. And Philadelphia takes on the Jets. Arizona takes on the Rams. Sunday Night Football. The New York Giants take on the Buffalo Bills at Bills Stadium. And Monday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys are at SoFi Stadium to take on the Chargers. And next Thursday night, for Week 7 to kick it off, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New Orleans Saints at Louisiana Superdome, Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scout Sports 101 Thursday Night Football post-game show. I'll be back with the Browns and the Browns early games NFL Week 6 early games pregame show, but on Sunday. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.